Welcome to the Quick Stop F1 podcast. My name is Mario, and you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate it. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to the Quick Stop F1 channel. Make sure to like and leave some comments. We do a pretty good job about reading those. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure to rate us 5 stars and download those episodes. Make sure your cousin downloads those episodes. Make sure your cousin's friend who went to college with him one time and they met just one time and they had one drink, but they had a really good connection. Make sure he downloads it as well. We also have a Patreon where you can get access to exclusive merch sales, ad-free content, and as a brand new feature of the Patreon, Tasha, this is very exciting. You can now ask for Nyasha's address and invite him to your wedding. Any wedding. Doesn't matter where it is. It doesn't matter. If you want Nyasha at your wedding, you must join the Patreon, ask for the address, and make sure that you get married during a race weekend. Yes. We'll talk about why later.
Very important.
And talking about very important, the most important, I want to, as always, as every week, welcome the one, the only, Tasha, aka the Glacier. And you think, oh, he didn't say a bunch of things. No, it's because I'm mixing it up this time. Time I'm saying, this time I introduce you first, but then I say, here's some fun facts about Tasha.
Oh my God.
Her ringtone, it's Bono saying, get in there, Lewis. When Lewis wins his 8th championship, 9th to the people who know the truth, she'll be taking a year as a sabbatical just to celebrate.
Absolutely.
She's literally running on the best kind of vibes right now. And we're going to have a lot of fun recording this.
We are. I'm excited.
Tasha,
How are you?
I am so happy to be here with you today.
Same.
We were talking about before the show, this might just be, and I think it is, the first time that our boy,
are you going to spoil
goat,
it? Spoiler alert?
Our goat. Okay, I'm sorry. It's just so exciting. This is like the first time it's finally happened.
I know. It's pretty sad.
Happened. Hey, we're being happy about it. We're happy now, sad before. Sad before.
Have been so deprived, yeah.
But you're right. I won't spoil too much because we can't get into that too much right now. So let's talk about something that is both happy and sad as well.
Yes.
And happy for any normal human being, how cool was Zach and the squad joining the Sky F1 and having like their little
the
section,
F1 juniors. Oh my God. I have been so obsessed with these kids who have gotten opportunity to join the Sky F1 broadcast team for this weekend. I was looking forward to it anyway, just because I think kids and TV are like gold. Like, it's really hard not to get like some magic out of putting a child in front of a microphone or in front of a camera with a microphone. So, but what I wasn't expecting was for them to be so like professional and eloquent. Like, I like listening to their analysis of things. Like, they're just so zoned into what's going on. They very much have careers in broadcasting if they want it. I felt like they could replace quite a few people on the Sky F1 team. Out the gate, Zach, oh my God, he's like one of my faves.
He's an encyclopedia.
He knows everything.
No index cards, no nothing.
And they're not intimidated. He's not intimidated by the moment. Like, he's gotten to meet Lewis, who is his, GOAT, as is all of our GOAT. But like, he was not intimidated by that moment to like ask him all these questions and just like
get into the car.
Like,
they say they ran through the steering wheel controls and everything.
Yeah.
That kid had Lewis Hamilton.
I feel like he probably gave him some pointers. He's like, I've been noticing throughout the season, like, I would not be surprised if Zach had some like helpful insight.
The kid, the kid probably was like, look, Lewis, I know why you do it, but you hold the steering wheel weird during your first lap. Like, you need to change that. Like, if you put your finger differently, it would be better.
It'd be so better,
just like, love the how well things have gone for Mercedes and for Zach, I said beforehand that this was a happy thing with a sad thing. The only sad part about this is I'm not gonna even describe it, but like the people who are criticizing this. Like,
yeah, I've noticed that as well. Couple of adults not happy.
You gotta yell at something, huh? Like, you gotta quote them. There must be. There must be a quota. Like,
old man yells at cloud meme. Like, dude, it's like little cute kids. Like, and I feel like that's even patronizing to say. Like, they are adorable, but like they are just so good at what they do for this being the first time that they've ever done it. And, you know, obviously for the fact that like this is being broadcast. I mean, it's not international. I think it's only available right now in the UK and Germany.
Yep.
But still, like, to know that you're on a broadcast as like a child, like that's just fearless to me. So I think it's cool. I think if you're like hating on that for any reason, like be miserable at some other point. Like there's plenty of things to be miserable about, but I just feel like kids are not it. Yeah.
Just just keep it all in, my guy. Everybody just needs to keep it all in, you know. Misery.
Keep
just
it to yourself.
The other cool thing, the kid that was, I guess this is also a little bit out of order, but the kid that saw because it was a practice. The kid that saw Checo during practice, and then they took him into the Red Bull garage because he was crying, feels bad. I relate to the kid very well.
Yeah.
But it's overall a pretty good weekend for outreach to kids and like and
it's a good weekend to be a kid.
Cool, yeah. and that's a cool thing, you know, like trying new things is always interesting, is always fun. We saw today where they tried a new thing with qualifying, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
And we will really mostly talk about qualifying because practices were slightly uneventful.
Yeah.
But the one thing that we have to mention about practice is how I have no fear of Danny Rick being AlphaTauri. I have no fear of losing my seat ever. I have no problem. Christian Horner's hand is on my shoulder and he supports me. Helmut Marko definitely doesn't want to kick my ass out. We just want to mention, what the fuck are you doing, Checo?
Right.
FP1 on your out lap.
The second lap of the session. Not afraid of anything, but apparently should have been afraid of the grass. I don't know.
Should have been, like, you know? That grass came out of nowhere in his defense, though.
The grass, yeah.
Out of nowhere, that grass. Because, like,
the grass was hating hard. Oh, my God. Like, dude, but the amount of, like, the shunt, though, was crazy. Like, why are you damaging your car? Like, what the actual
No traffic?
Nothing.
No traffic?
There was no reason for it. What was the reason?
Nada. Not literally, because my thing is like, and it's not even a joke. Like if we like quantify, from irrelevant to relevant, your outlap of FP1, that is the most irrelevant thing you're gonna do the whole week.
It should not be that hard. Did you see Helmut Marko's face? Was just like, dude.
I'm surprised he didn't have a heart attack right there.
Just like
honestly, the way that man runs on hate is truly astounding. I hope he gives his body to science. I really hope so.
We need to definitely interrogate that, but yeah, it sent me.
I just don't get it. And with that, Tasha, I present to you top 5 biggest fall offs.
Oh,
because I would say that at this point, I've been like, when Perez did his thing in Monaco, it's Q1. What? It's FP1. So you've officially fallen off. I don't care where you ended up. I don't care where you end up tomorrow. You've done progressively worse every time. It happened when you got close to the sun and your guy Max. So, in my opinion, these are the top 5 biggest fall-offs in order from, I guess, less bad to worse. Yeah. I'm an NBA fan, so I'm going to start with an easy one. The Golden State Warriors, after they were up 3-1 in the NBA Finals to LeBron James and the Cavaliers, they lost that one. First team in NBA history to come back from 3-1. Second fall off, Chance the Rapper. After he came out with acid rap. Bro, I love that you love your wife. I live for that shit. I love it. You're a great husband, great father. Love it.
Right?
You're the worst rapper ever after acid rap, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But hey, you've got the money and you've got the family, and that's awesome for you.
Yeah.
Number 3. Anybody who thought crypto coins were going to last past like a little bit after the pandemic. I hope you made your money with Dogecoin. I hope you did your GameStop thing.
To the moon.
To the moon. It's no more. It's no more. Number 4. The Berlin Wall. Because like it literally fell. It was really tall and then it fell. Number 5, shocker. It's our favorite Mexican Minister of Defense who can't defend against grass.
Grass
Sergio
beating his
Perez.
ass. Hate to
Do you have any follow-ups that you can think of? You know,
not
to
off the top of my
compare.
head. Not this
Not
level.
not as bad as this, right? No,
because it's like consistent. You know what I mean? Like some athletes have a little bit of a
little slope.
In tennis, they call it the yips, like where,
yips, okay.
which is very weird sounding, but it's the yips. It's like, you know, suddenly you don't know how to serve. You know what I'm saying? And it might last a couple of games in a match. It might last like for a string of matches. But typically, at some point, you get a coach and you figure out how to like rework the mechanism of your serve and like you make it work. I don't know what's like. Nobody's there for Checo. That's what I'm gathering from this. Like, no moral support. No, like, dude, like. What the fuck? Like, it just gets worse. And like you said, it's FP1.
The only thing worse must be that he's gonna get the yips in the he's gonna get the yips in the media pen they have to do on Thursday. They have to do interviews. That's the only thing he can do worse. Because he messed up every part of being in a car. He's messed up already.
Right. So
like the only thing that's left is like they interview him. He's like, I don't remember how to speak.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm gonna make fun of someone else other than Checo. Not even make fun, man. You're being terrible right now, and I hope you fix your shit. Like, really gather yourself and like fix your shit. Because like FP1, I don't know what else to say. We can't even get funnier. Like there is nothing funnier after this, so we really don't have it in us. Yeah. So please, just fix your shit. Someone who fixed his shit or did the opposite of it. I was talking to Tasha about this very silly thing, but like I can't let it go. Nico Hulkenberg dyed his hair blonde. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Yeah. You can ask Nico, why'd you do it? And his answer could be literally anything. And you'd be like, yeah, okay, cool. You wanted to? Cool. Your daughter wanted to? Cool. Your wife wanted to? Cool. You just felt crazy one day? Cool. But when interviewed about, this was during the F1 TV drivers press conference, to be very exact. He was asked about like, does it have anything to do with this there's this, Tasha, I don't know if you've heard about this movie. It's like really, really indie movie. There's barely any marketing for it. Barbie or
Barbara.
Barbara was it?
Barbara, yeah.
Barbara.
Barbenheimer.
So look, yeah. Everybody knows Barbie is out here. Yeah. Barbie's doing her thing, their thing. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's great. But then when Nico was asked, like, why'd you do that? Does it have anything to do with Barbie? Which Nico could have said, no, nothing to do with Barbie. Cool. Nico said, I didn't even know Barbie existed. I didn't know that movie was coming out. I didn't even know they were making it. Well, there's a Barbie. And it's
damn liar. What a liar.
Oh, you're going to look at me in my face.
Everybody knows that Barbie's, like, coming out. Like, everything has been about Barbie. Like, actually, funny enough, like the F1 marketing, the tweets and stuff. Like, one ticket for Oppenheimer, one ticket for Barbie. Like, everybody's doing it, okay? Like, if you're a social media manager not tweeting about Barbie, like, do you know how much engagement that you're missing out on? Like, it's stupid. So, yes, everything has to do with Barbie. Your hair is blonde because you want to be a Barbie or Ken. It's fine. It's fun. Like, enjoy it. Like, it's fucking fun. Like, everything doesn't have to be so freaking serious, you know?
It's like, fine. It's fine.
You just wanted icy blonde hair, like all of a sudden, like okay.
This weekend, he wanted
opening weekend, yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Should I have dyed my hair blonde for this weekend?
Maybe.
Oh no,
you should have.
Damn, I should.
Missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity. Damn.
Yeah.
Either drop a bomb or dye your hair. Anyways, the Haas F1 team.
Oh my God.
Haas F1 team came out with a tweet. Because obviously, and what was it? It was Nico with his blonde hair. And what did it say? Hulkenberg. So yeah, you didn't know anything about that.
Somebody got the memo. Maybe it wasn't him, but somebody did. Yeah.
I don't know why, but I needed to say that.
Off your chest.
I needed to. It's like I literally need any answer would have been acceptable, but to pretend that you live under a rock for the last 2-3 months, like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
So in a much more Formula One racing, spin to all this. This weekend, we had a new format where we had Q1, Q2, Q3 had assigned tires to them. We had Q1 with hard, Q2 with medium, Q3 with softs. And Tasha, what's obviously we're going to go into qualifying and everything, but in your opinion in general, what did you see that maybe was different because of this change or we didn't have before that you saw?
I liked it. We were talking right before we got on, just like I felt like this gave Quali a little bit more of that excitement that I think they've been trying to get from the sprint races or, like just some of the other formats they've been experimenting with. I think this is the one that feels the most like anything can happen, like there's definitely some favorites, but with the tires all having, different kind of characteristics. Some tires suit different cars more, some cars are able to fire up the tires better than others. So it just gave a lot of like, not just excitement, but maybe like jeopardy, kind of like what could happen. You're not really that sure of like what the outcome would be. So I think for the sake of like keeping the weekend kind of as is with the, 3 practices, the quali and the race, I felt like this at least gave it something a little bit different that isn't like out of the norm, like it's not just like Stefano pulling some random ass idea out of his ass, like it actually is like, oh, I like this. So maybe that's kind of where they need to look in the future for stuff, like just tweaking things in a small way, not like completely throwing out, tried and true like formats, for something strange just for the sake of doing it. So I liked it. Yeah. What about you?
A lot better than his Grand Slam award idea.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I liked it a lot as well. Question, because I did you know this was happening before like Thursday?
I did because I follow FIA girly Denny. She's she's great because shout out Denny. But she talked about this before. This was supposed to be the ATA was supposed to be rolled out for a different race, and it got postponed. And this was the race that they did it for. So she kind of tweeted about it like earlier this week, and I was like, oh, okay, like good to know. So yes,
yeah, okay, that's really cool. It's just my thing is like these things, whether one likes them or not, like they to me they it's a little bit out of nowhere just because like. If you're not like, I don't know, maybe I'm not following the right accounts. I do follow Denny, but like, I mean, like this decision, shouldn't it have been like announced a month ago? I would think, but maybe it's just me. I'll do a little bit better about looking for it. But I just think I just have this opinion that Formula One does these things, whether it's a little thing or a big thing, just really out of nowhere.
It always feels out of nowhere, but I guess you have to kind of like dig for that sort of news. Like
it's such fun news.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
So, before we go to ads, I wanted us to conclude with this one little stat with regards to the new format. And it was that this is the closest top 10 ever that there's been in F1. It's tied with Brazil in 2003, and the reason for it or the stat is that the top 10 is separated by basically 0.58 seconds. So a little bit over half a second is what separates the whole top 10 grid.
Wow.
And if this was the tires, then it worked, I guess. Yeah. Another thing is we have some tweets that we're going to read out later, so thank you very much. But just as a reminder, Tasha and I are going to be doing this show every Saturday when we obviously if we can. And part of it is going to be now that we're going to read your quality predictions, whether it's after or whether it's during the show. So feel free to tweet either at Tasha, at me, or at Quickstop of any predictions or anything you wish we talked about during these shows. Yeah. But with that, let's go into a quick ad. And we are back. All right. So as we do during race weekends, Tasha and I have got some comments, some notes about qualifying. We're going to separate it Q1, Q2, Q3. before that or after? Let me see. Now we'll talk about this in Q3. Yeah. So, Tasha.
Yes.
Any thoughts, opinions about Q1? What did you like? What did you dislike? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm super sorry. I'm out of practice. I'm super sorry. In Q1, we lost Logan Sargent, Kevin Magnussen, George Russell, Yuki Tsunoda, and Alex Albon. Yeah. And I forgot the very important part of our format. I forgot the critical thing is like I'm gonna pick a driver completely at random, Tasha. Completely at random, Tasha. Completely. Any thoughts on George Russell leaving Q1?
Oh my God. Listen, it wasn't his fault entirely. Like, it wasn't his fault. This was a timing issue from Mercedes. To me, like, I mean, we really were at risk for losing both Lewis and George this session because they kind of kept them in the pit for like until like the last possible minute, which it's like I understand the logic behind that in theory, but our car is not that it's not that consistent, right? We're not driving like a beast of a car. So, you know, you do have to kind of like factor that into your strategy. But then you also have like all of this traffic. This track is just very like, it's congested. And so when everybody has that same thought of like, oh, let's go out last minute to try to be some of the last people on the track, you run into issues. And so with George, unfortunately, like they just sent them out way too late. Lewis got through by like the skin of his teeth. I mean, at P7, but you know,
no, but it was suspenseful. It wasn't like he put it and went to the pit and he's like, I'm done.
Yeah. So Lewis barely made it through, and then George just basically I think there was like a couple of cars that like did an overtake on him. Yeah. So three cars
overtook him.
Oh my God. Yeah.
They talked about like it being an unspoken rule in F1 or something like that. Like you can't overtake.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't seem that anybody really follows that. So
3 people overtook him.
3 people.
I know it was a Ferrari. It was Ocon and someone else.
Yeah, I don't remember the last person. But yeah, so that was that for Mercedes. And George was furious. I've never actually heard him use real curse words before over the radio. Like normally he'll say like
beep him.
Sugar or like, you know, oh, fork, you know, something like that. This man had to get censored on air. Like he was pissed. So, because I mean, he felt like the car had a lot of pace. And so he's P18 now. And this track is really difficult to overtake, you know, on track. So it's going to be really hard to recover. And especially when you have that faster car, you're going to be behind all these slower cars. Like, I think it's going to be a rough race for George. So, yeah.
You could see it. He was obviously frustrated, like you said, but when he was over, when they when nobody got the gentleman's agreement memo, and 3 people overtook him, he was very frustrated, and it's like you could see that he was not enjoying qualifying. No, at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, so then we had some interesting stuff with the Alfa Romeos. You had VB who set the fastest lap to like basically start the session, and then essentially on hards, and I'm like, wait, what the hell is going on here? As expected. You had I wrote track limits was a big issue again.
Yeah,
like a lot of track times got deleted. So that was kind of something to look out for. And then you had kind of Yuki Daniel, their little first. We see you know the first time them qualifying against each other. So Q1 was interesting because they were kind of like hanging in with each other for a sec. So yeah.
I am eating my words because when we talked about Yuki and Daniel, I said that Yuki would only out-qualify. That Daniel was only going to out-qualify Yuki twice, and this is one. So I guess I have one more for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I'm still
maybe we got it wrong. I don't know. Last time we talked about this, we definitely were saying like, you know, we thought Yuki was going to be more comfortable. He's been there for longer. I don't know. So maybe Danny heard that and was like, bet.
Bet, yeah, exactly.
Bet, yeah.
Danny has the fear of losing the sport. Like you have to learn to appreciate things a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then you were mentioning about the deleted laps. I think Piastri had one. Max Verstappen had one.
Yeah.
And I think it was like 6 or 7 total laps that they deleted.
Yeah.
Which is surprising because they didn't really talk much about deleted laps during the weekend, but then qualifying comes around and definitely a lot.
Yeah.
So then the one thing, the other thing we were talking about, Alex Albon is out at 16th during Q1, but man, I feel like Williams this weekend is like,
not our track.
Look, everybody, we're just here. We're just here to have fun. We do our thing, but this is not for us.
Yeah, I mean, there's just one long straight, 2 DRS zones. Everything else is pretty twisty, so it's
slow corner on slow corner on slow corner.
Yeah, so it's not really gonna favor the Williams. And again, qualifying that low, it might. He will have to pull some strategy. I feel like Alex, if anybody can find like an interesting strategy to get, gain some places, it'll be him. But on pace or just on the ability to overtake, like I feel like that track is just not meant for that. So yeah, just another tough spot for him.
Williams is fascinating because it's the epitome, I think, of like, you have to work with what you got.
Right.
Like, would it be amazing if we could be amazing every race?
Right.
Sure, but we literally cannot.
Yeah.
So they've developed this car with the help of Vals, with the help of Albon, that typically is going to be a garbage can, but they've really specialized it for to do really well in certain conditions. And that's super respectable. Like that's they're doing the best with what they got.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on Logan Sargent or Kevin Magnussen?
Absolutely none. I have no thoughts.
So like what we were saying, and then Q2 came along.
Right. Q2's here. Yeah.
We lost Pierre Gasly. We lost Lance Stroll. Lost Danny Rick, which still respectable. Lost Ocon. And Carlos Sainz.
Yo, Carlos.
Carlito.
What I fucking love the most, though, is that it was Charles that knocked him out.
It was, wasn't it? I didn't remember.
And I don't know if you've noticed on Twitter, but there is a rift in the Ferrari fan base.
Oh, yeah?
There's just like Team Carlos, Team Charles. And this did not make the situation any better.
And it's just like Twilight. It's two really, really good looking guys.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And what was crazier, though, is that this basically ends his Q3 streak. And I guess the streak has gone on since 2019. So, I mean, it's kind of a harsh way to...
You just said it, but I just want to reiterate real quick. So who ended that streak?
That would be Charles Leclerc. Yeah.
Yikes. Imagine you have
your own teammate,
The call came from inside the house this time.
Yeah.
Oh, not like this.
Yeah.
Do you think that's payback for when...
No.
My memory is good, but it's not great. But remember that it was last race that Charles was like, great overtake to Sainz. It was during like a practice.
He's so passive aggressive.
Petty King is like,
I love it though. Yeah. Charles is so like soft. Like he won't ever really like call anything out or like say anything too harsh. So I mean, if this is as harsh as it gets, I guess I'll take it. So, yeah.
I hate to see it. It'd be your people like that sometimes. I hate to see that. Like I don't mind his streak, but like it was all the et tu brutu.
Right. Et tu brutu.
No.
I was gonna say we had some other struggling was Lance Stroll, who I mean, like we talked about him a while ago about you know what is he doing there, and I just feel like he kind of has been off the pace. Like ever since Alonso said that those cars would be on podium every weekend, the downfall of Aston has been pretty intense. But also just Lance Stroll has been like extremely mid. Like I don't know what's going on.
You would say mid?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but as we go, I'm gonna go check the standings.
Mid-ish.
Yeah, because I don't know.
Mid adjacent, like I don't know, like he's just this man he's struggling.
Mid adjacent. Like he doesn't live in mid,
on the
but he's
cusp
close.
of mid. Yeah, he's really there.
Is he on the cusp of greatness? No.
Of mid.
No. Of mid. Okay. No, you're absolutely right. Mid is fair. He's 8th. He has 44 points.
Yeah.
I think mid is good.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, and this happens to Checo a lot, is you get compared to Max when you're Checo.
Yeah.
Lance Stroll obviously is going to get compared to Alonso, and then when you look at that, Alonso is 137 points,
Yeah.
244 for Stroll. So that's why we can't get him into the mid. That's why he's just because the comparison's too much.
Yeah.
Um,
Too big of shoes to fill.
we lost Danny Rick, which I think is fair for an AlphaTauri. I think all the copium and dilution in the world wasn't going to put that man on podium or top 5 or anything.
But I'm not gonna lie, this is looking at where he ended up. I'm like, I feel like he did better than when he was in the McLaren. Like, the man was getting like P17 sometimes.
You're
so
right.
I feel like this is maybe one of his best qualifying that he's had in a while.
And
who knew?
His radio was like, I'll keep learning, I'll get better.
Right.
It seems like he got the the fear of like, I really want this and I don't have it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I think that being taken away from him, even though it was just for like 6 months, I think you can't play games anymore. Like, it's really on you to improve yourself, improve your mentality. So yeah, that's why I said, I was like, I hope there's like some montage sequence where he got stronger and smarter and faster and like did what he needed to do in the time that he was off. And yeah, I mean, time will tell, but fingers crossed.
Honestly, I don't even think, honestly, if anything, and I don't mean this in any way, I think the best thing that he had to get better at was, I was going to say like get therapy, but like what I really mean is like improve your mental, like improve your confidence in yourself,
concentration.
And I think because he said some stuff that has made me think this is maybe, which would be fine. He didn't know how to handle being bad at the sport, and like there's a lot of mental fortitude that it takes for you to understand like, okay, I'm bad right now, but I can get out of it. So like, I hope that he got a renewed mental and a renewed confidence. Yeah. I think he has, because, and like the last thing I'll say is like, they've asked him about point scoring in AlphaTauri, and he's always been, position isn't necessarily the most relevant thing. The most relevant thing is me trying to do my best with the team. So hopefully he does. Like 13 is fine for an AlphaTauri. Nico made it through. So we have Ocon and Gasly. I don't have much to say about Alpine, but like, what are they doing down there? Especially if the cost cap crap is true. If you really were one of the people, like one of the teams that didn't, I don't know what the word is, violated the cost cap, but that sounds weird. But yeah, if they really went over the cost cap, that's the right.
Yeah.
If they really went over the cost cap, and this is what they have to show for it, breached.
Yes.
That's why. I need you here. If they didn't breach that cost cap, I mean, if they did breach that cost cap, and this is what you got to show for it, no, je veux something else from this. Je veux something. That's my high school French. What's up? What's up? Je veux steak frites.
Is it and like, I really do. See? Okay.
No, I want.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. We're gonna have a whole French.
Je voudrais is the fancy French. Je veux is the like casual.
Oh, like the cool people, like
Not when I say it, but typically yes.
Okay.
And then Q1 comes along. Super uneventful. We have really nothing to talk about Q1.
We're on softs.
No, that's actually a great point that we should have mentioned earlier. We started hard, medium, and now we're on softs.
We're on softs. And we survived.
That is what it felt like sometimes, surviving. But then you get on these softs, and then let's talk about little by little. We have at number 10, Nico. I've never heard of Barbie Hulkenberg. We have Checo.
Ay.
Tasha.
Are you going to ask me about Checo?
Just really quick.
Okay.
Really quick.
All right.
Do you give a crap about him getting ninth? Does ninth tell you anything?
No, it tells me he's crazy and like doesn't understand what the situation is. Like, Danny Ricciardo's what, P13? You're P9 in
on a garbage can
car and on softs. Like, bro, what the fuck?
Oh, grab-ons. Damn.
How are you ninth on softs? You know what I'm saying? No, Danny wasn't. Danny was on medium. I'm just saying.
No. I was about to say no. That's a great point. Danny did a 1:18.002 on mediums. Checo did a 1:17. So Checo was 1 second faster than Danny Rick on a Red Bull on softs.
On softs. So there's that. That's how I feel.
Fix your shit. Number 8, Fernando Alonso. Cool. We're gonna talk about 567 because 567 is a good one.
Yeah,
you're right. I should have said excelente trabajo, Alonso. You're right. 567 is a little bit of a sandwich. Where number 5 we have motherfucking Joe Guan Yu. Okay.
Woo! Yo, okay? He was working this weekend.
He was killing it. He said Chris was talking to us about this earlier. The fastest lap on hards.
Yeah.
Was A1 Joe Guan Yu. After Joe, so Joe's 5th. Number 6 is A1 Charles Leclerc. Number 7 is A1 Valtteri Bottas. Tasha, what the fuck?
I mean, shout out to VB. So good for you. Good for the Alphas. I mean, like, these cars have been struggling all year. I don't know what the hell is on this track, like, I guess suits their car. I don't know what, like, they made. I don't even know. I honestly don't pay really that much attention to them anymore.
You're right. No, you're absolutely right. But like, they are that kind of team you don't pay that much attention to.
And they don't
get on the. Yeah, they don't get on the. But they just show up, but they're cool as hell because Joe's fashion.
Yeah.
Joe, I think Joe is the only one who can pick up that Lewis Hamilton torch.
Yes.
Because that's crazy. And Valtteri's cool. Valtteri's awesome.
He's cool people.
Yeah. What is Charles Leclerc doing at number 6? Why is Charles Leclerc in a, what do we call this team? A Ferrari? Why is Charles Leclerc behind an Alfa Romeo Ferrari?
Isn't that crazy? Like, well, first of all, again, this is another one of those quality sessions where I'm like, where are the Ferraris? Like, you know what I mean? You see this timesheet and you're just sort of like, wait, where are the Ferraris? And they're like on the bottom of the sheet, the middle of the sheet. It's like, what is going on there? I truly, much like Checo, I just feel like at this point, it's like beating a dead horse. It's like, they don't want to get better. You know what I mean? Like, if you wanted to, you would. And like, that's kind of how
at this point.
But then it's also like, has the car also taken a step back in terms of like pace? Because it doesn't feel as fast.
I can actually answer that.
Okay.
I saw because I saw the statistic the other day. Yeah. And it's actually faster. Development. Yeah. Ferrari has it's not a lot. Yeah. But when I saw it was like a graph on how teams have done with improving their car. Yeah. And Ferrari haven't improved it much, but they've improved it. Okay. They have not their car has not gotten worse.
Got it. So they've gotten worse.
So the people have gotten worse. That's the thing. Like, right. Like, I don't know. Well, it's interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Last thing we'll talk about before we talk about the thing that we both want to talk about so bad is Max got second. Yeah. Lando and Oscar. And Oscar. 3 and 4. Like, Oscar Piastri. I think Oscar Piastri is that guy.
That guy. Yeah.
Because like,
absolutely. Yeah.
There's nothing that's. The moment Lando started doing well, Oscar's on his tail. Yeah. Like, Oscar is that guy, and I think like, Alpine must hate looking at this. And even Red Bull. I was thinking about this earlier. Like, even Red Bull had, like, they lost Oscar or something, or they had the chance to get Oscar.
Yeah.
Imagine Red Bull seeing Oscar do this and think, fuck, we literally could win the constructor with just Max. Right. So we literally could have a second driver that is being developed like Oscar. Mm-hmm. And then they're seeing this shit happen with McLaren. Yeah. Oscar is that guy.
He really is. Good for him, though.
On the race where Danny Rick is back, which not to, but like,
no, I mean, it makes total sense. Like, you're seeing all these, now you're seeing everybody on the track at the same time. You're seeing, granted, obviously they're not in the same machinery or the same equipment, but yeah, Oscar's ability to just like focus and zone in and like be there, like neck and neck with Lando. I think even at sometimes he was like ahead by like 0.2 or something like that. Like, the fact that he's not scared, like seizing the moment, talking about seizing the moment, like, I feel like that's him. And like, you need that. Like, you can be a fast driver, you can be smart, but like, if you can't like channel all of that and when you're actually like trying to perform, then it doesn't really amount to anything. So I think for a rookie, like to be now, what is this, like his second, third Q3 or whatever appearance, like this is a great rookie year, you know? So
this is rookie of the
of at least this class that we currently have. Yeah, for sure.
Do you think Nick gets votes? I'm sorry. That's not nice. I'm sorry.
You need to leave. Yeah.
Tasha, I made you talk about Russell.
Yeah.
So let's give you both ends of that sword. And
oh my God.
Give you the floor for our number one, our pole sitter, the most pole positions ever in Hungary is Sir Lewis Hamilton with number 9. How do we feel about
most poles in history? 104. That's nuts. Talk about consistency, seizing the moment. Like, dude, like first of all, I lost my voice. There's like a section of the morning where like my voice was gone. I was yelling for like a minute straight. You know, like when you see like videos on like YouTube of like goats and they're just like screaming. Like bah. Yeah. I was like me for like a fucking minute straight. Christopher was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, I'm not okay. I'm not well. Like I am just not like." This was so amazing to watch. And this is like, I think this to me solidified like why I've stuck with it for like 2 years, you know, of the roller coaster that we've been on, because this felt so satisfying to see the margins between the Red Bull and the Mercedes like so thin. I think when going into this last lap, Max had provisional pole, Lewis was P2, and they were separated by like a 10th or something like that.
Yeah.
And so it was like a doable gap. And when Max wasn't able to like improve his lap, it was like, okay. And Lewis is like the last guy on track. So basically it's like this is his moment to like take it or whatever. So yeah, to see that he was able to like kind of like gain and like just put it on the pole for Hungary is just insane. And he was like so emotional about it, and I'm like, everybody's crying. Like, this is only a pole, guys. This is only a pole, but it like means so much because this has been his first one in 2 years.
It's been
something crazy like that. Like it's been a drought. Okay, we are thirsty. So, oh my God, that was so much fucking fun to watch that. It was so much fun. Yeah.
Commentators did a great job, and like I'm sure same thing for you.
Yeah.
The feeling, because you know when they're showing you the onboard and the person's doing their lap and they show you the 3 sectors.
Yeah.
Every time one of those sectors green.
Yeah.
Green. Is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? Green.
Crazy.
Pop, number 1.
Yeah. And I think the last sector, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't even his personal best.
It wasn't?
I mean, yeah, okay. Which is nuts. Okay. I'm just like, and this is like the 3rd, 4th fastest car. So it's also like interesting again to talk about that gap from, you know, Red Bull. Like, how is a 3rd, 4th fastest car on pole? So that was fun. I just feel like
one might say it's not the plane, it's the pilot.
Maybe, you know. It's not just the car; it's the guy driving it.
You know, maybe the guy who's won maybe the guy who's won the most in Hungary has the most poles in Hungary. Maybe that knows a thing or two about driving around Hungary. You know?
Yeah. So I was just over the moon for Lewis because it just seemed like it meant a lot. Like his post-race interview was actually like very like heartwarming as well, just because it just meant a lot. Like it has been crazy.
I think it meant a lot to everybody.
Definitely. But like, you know, Lewis is interesting because he talks about the fact that he's like, I'm not emotional. I'm not really a crier. And you could tell he had been crying a little bit, you know, like teary-eyed or something. So, you know, the fact that this made him emotional and it wasn't a race win. It wasn't, you know, a championship win, but it's like the little steps, the little progress leading up to like the big goal. So that's why, like I said, it's been satisfying to like tune in every weekend. And like, even though it hasn't been you know, always like we haven't gotten the fruits of all the labor, it's still like staying with it because you never know. Like imagine if like I just was like, oh, I'm not gonna watch this because Max is gonna get pole. Like I could not imagine not seeing this live. I'm sorry.
Not seeing this live,
yeah.
The most emotional part to me, and and this is, I went on a little trip thinking about this, but like the most emotional part to me was the picture with Zach.
Yeah.
After they signed the tire.
Zach, yes.
Because to me, I think of 10 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if Zach is like a driver.
Yeah.
And then we come back to this moment where they took that picture. It's like Lewis didn't have a person of color, a minority, a someone who's like been through fire and have that like no, come on, we'll figure it out. Like Lewis has been trailblazing this for my, obviously for Black people, but like for minorities in general in the sport. And it's like to see Zach have Lewis is a very like culmination of all of the good that Lewis brings into the sport.
Yeah.
Because Zach can only see himself in one person in that grid, and it's Lewis.
And it's like, yeah, exactly. And like you said, the culmination also of like all the work that Lewis has been doing with like his Mission 44 to diversify the sport. Like there wasn't, I mean, I can't really imagine there would be a push to have all of these kids of various backgrounds, to have a little girl, to have Black kids, on air talking about this stuff.
Lewis, that doesn't
without
happen.
that. So yeah, it does feel very like a lot of little things build into this big feeling of like all this work is paying off. Might not be evident every weekend, but it's definitely paying off. But also, speaking of happy people, I wanted to kind of cut to our field correspondent.
That's right.
Yeah, he's at a wedding this weekend, but we still wanted to hear.
So we have a field correspondent coming to us live from a wedding, just giving us his overall opinion and his very, very deep analysis on all qualifying. So this might be a bit of a long clip, but he's really on the ground, ready to go, ready to give us the breakdown. So Nyasha, can you please give us your opinion on this qualifying? Anyways, I hope you enjoy that very very, very intricate, elaborate analysis. Stuff that
also, shout out to the suit. The pink is working. Okay,
no, but
that's your color.
He doesn't know about
Barbie.
He doesn't know about Barbie either. It's a coincidence. It's a coincidence. Nyasha, take that suit to the movies. It's a great suit. You look great.
It's a great suit. Yeah.
Patreons, remember, you can ask for Nyasha's address and you can invite him to weddings. I have been telling Nyasha, and he did not listen to me. But he does not listen to me. But I told him, because he went to a wedding the last time Lewis did really well. And I told him, you just need to go to weddings every weekend. There's a race. And he said no. And I'm like, you're just selfish, Team LH
Take
needs
one for
you.
the team,
Team LH needs you. You're selfish, saying no, because I'll drink too much. It'll be very unhealthy, blah, blah. Dude, stop being so selfish. Grab the fucking wine bottle and go to every wedding that you're invited to, okay? Yeah. Do it for Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, do it
He
for
would
the
do
team.
it for you. Probably not, because like he's so healthy, but like something. Anywho, wait. Last thing, we're going a little long, but last thing we need to do is not talk about our predictions, but talk about the very, very cool people who tweeted at us with their opinions and their predictions. Thank you very much for all who tweeted. Remember, Tasha did a great job about asking for those. So just look out for either Tasha's Twitter, Quick Stop, or mine. And feel free to drop any predictions you have. So Tasha, can you get us started with any tweet you like that replied to you?
So I'm going to start with Ash. Her podium prediction was Lewis, Max, and Lando. And then she says she's looking for either Oscar or Checo to be in that 4th place position. She also says that she thinks Danny will pull out some voodoo and get top 10, and that George finds the way up to the top 10 also.
I think Lewis, Max, and Lando, great top 3.
Yeah.
Checo or Oscar for 4th, just because I'm on that petty shit with Checo right now. I would prefer it be Oscar, because I am like Oscar. Oscar's like thrilling.
Yeah.
I think George back on the top 10 is safe. Thoughts on Danny putting it on the top 10?
I don't know.
Are you on that copium?
I mean, listen, anything's possible with the tire strategy. Like that's like I think the main thing to look out for is just like how they are able to kind of make up positions off track, because it is really tight. Like to be able to make overtakes, there's not a lot of places to do that. And I think with Danny, I think Danny's mentality might be on, but like for me, the car is the other question mark because of the reliability issues. So I mean, we've seen Yuki go a whole race basically, and then at the end doesn't have brakes or something like that. So,
Yeah.
you know, question mark. I think it's possible if everything works out, but I think everything would have to work out. And the track is super hot. The tire degradation is going to be insane. Like, so there's like a lot of factors I think that have to go really well in order for Danny to do that. But, you know, anything is possible. Lewis is on pole. Anything is possible. You know
Anything
what I'm saying?
is possible.
Anything. So, all right. What about the next tweet?
I have here .nma at AJ Maestro. She says, my brain says ver ham nor, but my heart hopes for ham ver nor. I'm with you 100%, AJ Maestro.
Too, yeah.
Like I am with you 100%.
Yeah.
My brain says the same thing, but that's my heart save.
Yeah.
Hamilton number
Oh yeah.
most wins ever in the Hungarian GP. Yeah,
absolutely.
Give me that. Give me that. What do you have next for us?
So this next one is from Photo Dave. He says Ham, Norris, Verstappen.
Love it.
And I kind of like that. Looks like Lando will overtake Max at some point. So maybe on the start. I mean, Max hasn't been having the greatest starts this season.
This season. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Lando did jump him at Silverstone. So,
that was a great start by Lando.
You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, Lewis is a great start as well. So, yeah, I mean, maybe that could be possible. So,
the last tweet that we wanted to mention comes from Silk at XO Silk XO. And she's basically saying what we're all thinking. Does anybody care about anything else than Lewis P1? I apologize. I can't even bother predicting the others. Let's fucking go. Which, by the way, let's fucking go is what I yelled so loud that I think the walls vibrated a little bit. And my dog looked at me like, what the fuck is your problem?
She's like, dude.
But she gets it. No. It's 104. She gets it.
Yeah. You got to turn up for that. Yeah.
You have to.
I agree. P1. I mean, honestly, I'm going to be delusional. I agree. Lewis, P1.
P1. Absolutely.
Max, P2. And Lando P4. Or I'm sorry, P3. Why am I saying P4?
Because you're thinking about Oscar and P4.
Right. Yeah. So I agree. I think I would love to see. I'm not even gonna do a realistic one. This is Lewis's win.
Hamilton is gonna win.
Yeah.
And then Max Orlando 2-3. I like that 1-2 we had. I want Oscar in fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I'm excited.
Anywho. Thank you very much for all of you who tweeted at us. Remember, if you have any predictions or want us to talk about anything during this show, feel free to add Tasha or Quickstop or I. If you're still listening or watching, thank you so much. If you're on YouTube, remember to subscribe, like the Quickstop F1 channel in this video. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure to drop those 5 stars, download, and have everybody who you know download it as well. Remember, we have a Patreon for ad-free content, for exclusive access to merch and Yasha's address. I've been Mario. You can find me at Mario APM. I'm sorry, Mario _APM on Instagram, Threads, and Twitter. Tasha, where can people find you?
You can find me at Tasha on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads also. And yeah, it's been fun. Thank you.
Yeah, Thank you guys for listening. Yeah, Tasha, take us away, please.
Of course, guys. Remember, no matter what happens, keep it on the black stuff. Thank you.
Let's go, Lewis!
Woo!
Yeah! The GOAT!
Get in there, Lewis. Yes.
The GOAT! Stop talking about anybody else, please.
And cut.
Look, mate, if you've got this far, clearly you like what we do. So here's a link to subscribe to the Quickstop F1 family. Give that a click. And here's another link to some more cool on our channel. Sorry, cool stuff. And remember, no matter what happens, keep it on the black stuff. Click the stuff. Click the links. Click the links. click the links there. They're there.